Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be in my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horrors of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That was the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Nelson Mandela read that to fellow prisoners during confinement. And I believe that poem is the embodiment of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man of character and a man of empathy. His moral compass always pointed towards justice. And that's why he could lead a movement that revolutionized the entire world. Because Dr. King used both his voice and his vision to get to people at their core. He made people believe that change was, in fact, possible. He got people to ask themselves a fundamental, life-altering question. Why? It's one word, 3 letters. Why? What is your why? What is your purpose? What is our why? What is our purpose? Your why, which brings about introspection, looking deep within yourself, innovation, and ingenuity. Dr. King answered that question not just with deeds and words, but with action, collaborative action. When they threw him in a Birmingham jail, he wrote letters that inspired America. And when he gave his life to the cause of civil rights, social justice for all of us, his ideas and legacy lived on. Dr. King awakened us to a moral consciousness, a sense of other, of what it truly means to be free in this world. That freedom is not just a state, but an act. That silence in the face of injustice and oppression is worse than injustice and oppression itself. That regardless of your skin color or gender, every one of us deserves the basic rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because as a society, we have become far too well adjusted to injustice. We must first recognize our reality before working to change it. And the reality of today has an ugly side. Black men, women, and children are still being gunned down in the streets at higher numbers than any time in our history. 100 years after recognizing women's right to vote, women's rights are still being attacked. Our family, friends, and neighbors are living in fear every day of deportation. Refugee children are being locked in cages, and far too many LGBTQ teenagers are living on the streets being kicked out of their homes, homeless. Kids are still going to school hungry, and our economy is not working for everyone. I believe the expectation that a people can be immersed in suffering and injustice without being harmed is as unrealistic as walking on water without getting wet. If he were alive today, what would Dr. King say? He wouldn't be going around writing books, memoirs, and going on book tours, but he would be at the funerals of victims of gun violence on Sunday and marching on the streets on Monday. He wouldn't rest until moms and dads with full-time jobs or 2 or 3 jobs got a fair wage, and those little boys and girls were removed from those cages. Because as Dr. King once said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but at times of challenging controversy. We are challenged today. We are in a time of immense and profound conflict and controversy. So on this historic day, Dr. King would not want us to just shower him with praise, He would want us to act. Today, tomorrow, and the week after that. Because in this chamber, each of us are the masters of our fate and the captains of our soul. So I leave you with this. I hope we have the courage, Mr. Speaker, to continue the work of Dr. King. Even if we are planting seeds in a garden we may never see grow. Seeds of opportunity, seeds of love, seeds of tolerance, seeds of justice, seeds of hope. Because in every corner of the great state of Washington, that's what our people deserve. Thank you.